Welcome back to Witchcraft Works Anime Review Part 2. This one we're covering the last 4 episodes of the series. Now, one thing I forgot to mention in my last review for the series is the fact that each episode starts off with the main character's name, along with its honorific, and whatever's going to go on in the episode. Yes, and these how other titles are presented. Yes. First episode, Takami-kun and the Fire Witch. Takami-kun and the Witch's Agenda. Takami-kun and Koroni's Trap. Takami-kun and the Mean Little Sister. Takami-kun and the Witch of Stone Eyes and Stone Hands, the debut of Medusa in the series. Takami-kun and Tested Love. Takami-kun and Noblesse Oblige. Takami-kun and Kagura-san's Wound. Takami-kun and the Witch at the End. Excuse me, and Takami-kun and the Weekend. Yes. Also, another thing I forgot to mention is the thing that people, when you look up the image for this series, what's usually the most common image you look up when you see this? We see the series. Well, it's Kaguya holding Takami in her arms. Yes, that is a common image for the series that is shown frequently throughout even the series itself. There's even a reverse where Takami is holding Kaguya in his arms. And mentioning, man, you're light. Like, are you dieting properly? Yeah, it turns out the reason why that is because with their capes, they're out lift up something that's really heavy, that's usually really heavy, and the things are pretty light. Yep. Now, what happens in the final 4 episodes of the series? Well, we get introduced to a character named Weekend. That is seriously this woman's name. Now, what does she do? She meets up with Cajon, I think her name. Yeah, she's Koroni's mother. And they chat for a bit and she tells her, "Oh, you want to make a deal? Like, you want the boy in control of the city?" He's like, "Nah, I want the boy for a different reason. But as why I'm here, well, you're about to find out." And what does she do? Drains her of all her freaking magic, and then she traps her into a cell under her floor. I'm like, okay, when the heck to get there? Oh yeah, and also, right after this, she's shown occasionally after this. Oh yeah, and here's the thing about this woman. She also smokes. Yes, she does smoke in the series. A few times in the series, but she does smoke. And, what else she do? She apparently has a hobby where she loves carving people. Well, small objects into small people. And the one she's shown doing is one of her daughter. Yep. And then, of course, right after she's taken out, right after her power is depleted, what's the first thing Weekend does? Blows up the whole damn city. I am not kidding. Yeah, it's also she acts doing this. She's planting bombs in this whole city for the past year, and she was waiting for this moment to drain the protector of her power, just so that she can blow up the damn city. And the reason why she does this, because she wants the main character. What woman in the series does not want the main character? Yes, it seems like they wanted for something. It's a recurring gag in this series. Yep. And what's Takami and Kaguya doing? Well, they're doing their entrance exams. Yep. It looks like their final exams. And everything's going fine. And of course, the bomb's going to be like, okay, sit down. Yep, don't sit down. And then the only word, it's like, everyone's like panicking. It's like, don't worry. Just do your test. And then her test basically evaporates. She was very happy. He's like, okay, come with me. And they go to the Arboretum for protection. Yep. And then they kind of turn on her. Now, his sister's there too. And she pretty much is against basically what doing to her brother because, well, she's very loyal to him. And she's fine. She's not taken to a cell like they are. And then they get out thanks to Weekend placing a bomb in this, making a plushie from a hologram, and basically they break out, and they go down a tunnel, and then they come across another witch from the tower, and she's taken out easily by Jerome's round knee kick. Corey's round knee kick, and they proceed to get contact with the city contact for the city in exchange for. Now, the way they explain it for how the magic barrier, they have this magic barrier across the city where, despite all the destruction happening of the city, you're probably wondering like why no one remembers it and why it looks pretty much fine. Well, there's a couple reasons for that. One, magic is able to undo all the damage pretty quickly, and why no one remembers it because Miragi, he controls people's memories, and basically everything's restored. It's like, okay, nothing happened. It's like oh, I think I forgot something. Yep, that's how it's treated in the series. Oh yeah, and it's also revealed this guy is responsible for taking away the memories of the two leads of the series from when they were younger. What those memories were, not explained here. That's actually explained a little bit later after this arc is over with. No, it's not dealt with in the next few chapters. That's so in the manga. Happens a little bit after this. Oh yeah, in case you're wondering what chapters in the manga do these episodes that from, well, that's the main series. They pretty much cover chapters 16 to 27. Yep. And the first, now pretty much by episode 12, pretty much up to, like, yeah, they pretty much covered in just 12 episodes of the manga. Yeah, that's as far as I got with the series. Yeah, unknown. Now, it's not exactly, I never heard exactly what the reason was for the end of the series. My only guess is the reason why the series ended when it did at this point, though we did have OVA come out a few months later, at least about barely a year later. The only reason, I think the reason why that we had the series end when it did was because they may have cut up to the manga. Yes, they may have cut up to the manga. That's one reason. Another is that they want to end the season on a big action note. Yep. Oh, and what's Waking up doing on this? Well, she takes several of the workshop witches hostage by playing with bombs in teddy bears. Yep, I am not kidding about that. That's seriously what they do. Oh, and the 5 girls living with the main character? Well, they're just basically told by his sister to help them out in exchange for rent. Yep, that is simply the whole basis for this. Medusa shows up, takes out one of Weekend's subordinates, and doesn't do much after that. She takes 4 of the 5 girls with her. They go into hiding. Oh, and she's wearing a completely different outfit. Yeah, that's not really. She's still on the run. I'm thinking if her arms are bind, how the heck did she change her clothes? Yeah, that's not explained here. She probably got some help, but it's never really explained. Yep, and well, yeah. Then of course, now as for the two leads, they find the city contact, and they don't really explain what the city contact is. Like, who in the city basically would they contact to basically form this magical barrier? The answer is never explained. It's just that they have Tagaru basically just go into some pond, get snared by some vines, and form a contract with the contact. And his hair changes color, and he got a mark on his face. And here's the thing. Nobody comments on this. Now, they mention he made contact with the city, yes. Nothing is made about his appearance change. Nope. His hair has changed from raven to silver. Yes. As for why the change color, and then why after this whole business is over with, why it changed back to a silver color, not really thoroughly explained. Ish. Yeah, and then they get out of there, and then of course, well, that's when he gets contact with Miragi, which explains the whole thing with the whole memories thing, and of course, that's when he explains that he was one who altered their memories when they were younger. Okay. And it was also revealed apparently that Weekend also took time to plant a bomb in the shelter where it has all the people there. Yeah. Now, I get maybe doing like a city. That's not much of a problem to do. Though, taking a year to cover a whole city, yeah, that probably is true. But getting this alternate dimension, how she got in here is never explained. It's like, oh, there's a bomb there. Also, this person got there too. Now, Miragi, he can get there easily because he probably has special contact with this particular dimension. Okay, fine. But as to how the villain got there, never explained. Also, the White Princess shows up again in this arc. Yep, she does. She shows up toward the very end. Now, I will get to the last couple minutes, the final episode. I'll get to that because that's not from the manga. That's something they made it for the series. This is the end of the series, and I'm happy now. So, after they made contact, after he kind of basically revived all the workshop witches, he got a fever and got conscious, so he ended up back, I believe, in his room of his house. Yeah, it kind of looks like his bedroom. Why do I think this is his bedroom? Because the door. Yes, his bedroom door, which is this like white and green checker color with one of those handles, like not like a knob, basically a handle. Yeah, that's how I can tell this is his room and not Kaguri's private room on the school residence. Now, how they got to his house so quickly, despite everything going on here, well, they may have walked there. It's possible because all the cars were destroyed. Yep. So, yeah, so that's when the whole Mindscape thing happened, so he gets out of there. Also, apparently, Kagura took the time to swap shirts with him. Yeah, we actually see her back for the first time in the series. Yeah, see her without a shirt on. That I thought was interesting. Also, when night started up, it actually had Kagura wearing a swimsuit, which I thought that was interesting. That would be interesting to see in the series if the series would continued. Yeah, that would have been something to see. Yep. So Kagura's front Weekend. And after a long... Now, she battles her for a good period of time. Battles her for almost 2 episodes straight. And then pretty much her magic is gone. But she uses basically her boyfriend's power. Of course, because Weekend refers to Kagura as her boyfriend. And Kagura shows up, asks wants White Princess for a wish. Bring back everybody and the city. It's like, oh, that's a big wish. You had to give me something to change. And she wants his life. But Kagura's like, take my life instead. But, yeah. So, city is saved, and everything was restored to normal. But the Kagura thing is actually resolved in just a few minutes. As for Weekend, goes up with Karun. And apparently fights her off screen, and she's tortured for the next 5 minutes with a bunch of sea animals. And then Karun shows up, where she was revealed. Now here's the thing, Weekend mentioned that she thought it would take a week for her to recover magic. Actually, that's not true at all. It took her 20 hours just to recover her magic. And she takes Weekend after beating Karun really easily by punching in the face and knocking into some buildings. She's able to pretty much everything restored back normal. As for Karun, basically, well, thanks to contact with Miragi from the other side, the puppet that Arukti has, she's one of the witches in the series, and they were to form Magic Circle and basically use the same way to revive her when she was petrified by kissing her. And he says, "Don't check it out. Put on the lips." And he's about to do it, and he just kisses her on the forehead. And he's like, "Oh crap! It didn't work. You better do it." And he's about to force a kiss on the lips, and then Kagura wakes up, and she's perfectly fine. Yeah, as for why he won't kiss her on the lips, I think because he's nervous. I mean, yeah, he probably didn't want to do it when she was unconscious. Yeah, but apparently kissing her on the forehead does work. Apparently. And she's able to wake up perfectly fine. They go back home. Of course, she wakes up. Of course, they're back at home. But everything's like back to normal. And of course, they walk to school, and then they're confronted by the Ivory Witches again, which Curran beats two of them really easy by nearly crushing their freaking skulls. He's like, yeah, now back to normal routine. In case you're wondering about this particular sequence, this is not from the manga. This is complete anime original. Because when Torori collapsed, that's where chapter 27 ended, with him collapsing on top of her. Yeah. So I think it took a little bit from 28, but probably about a few pages. But they might adapt the rest to probably for the OVA, which will come next. Yeah, I gotta say, really good 7 episodes, and can't wait to watch the OVA, which is the last thing they did for the series. Yeah, but I gotta say, when they adapted this, they did a really good job. I don't think they much altered anything, but it's interesting though, for 3 episodes, they took what essentially was a 10-chapter arc and put it in the series. Put in just 3 episodes, which that is quite something. My only personal guess of how they have accomplished this is, and this is my personal theory of how it is that the first 2 episodes probably covered 3 episodes apiece, 3 chapters apiece, and the final one covered 4 chapters. That is just my personal guess. Now, the OVA, I will cover it. It may cover 3 or 4 chapters. I don't know. Depends when I watch it. But yeah, the OVA is the last thing to watch for the series. Yeah, and then, in case you're wondering what's my next anime going to do after this, well, even though I haven't covered the OVA yet, but it'll be okay to review exactly what I'm doing next. Yeah. The next series I'm going to do after this one is the Saga of Tanya the Evil. Yeah, I'm going to cover this series because I watched the characters from the series in Insane Quartet, and that got me interested in the series. So yeah, I'm going to watch that soon. Probably after I finish this series, okay? Well, after I read the light novels of the series first, okay? But to the next video, which will cover the OVA for the series, okay? See you there. Bye.